Alright, what's going on, Forgotten Nation? I'm your host, FG, and today we're looking at Galaga 88. And here comes the spark! I love the spark in the logo, by the way. But, yeah, Galaga 88 was released coincidentally in 1988. At least here in North America, because some places actually got the game a year earlier and a year later. And many of the home ports of the game would actually change the name, coincidentally, to Galaga 90 and Galaga 91, to coincide with the years that they release. But if there's one definitive name for the game, it's Galaga 4. Not counting Galaga Arrangement, this is the final game in the original Galaxian Series. And for what it was, it left the series on a pretty high note. Because not only is it true to form with the rest of the games, but there's some pretty cool concepts that made it into this game overall. The biggest gimmick? Dimension warping. And it all starts with that capsule we saw on the screen. I'll explain as we get into it, but for now, let's just start the gameplay. So, right off the bat, we get the choice between the single fighter or the dual fighter. And it's a bit of a no-brainer. Of course, we gotta go with the dual fighter. Everyone always loves the double fighter. What if I told you there was a triple fighter in this game? This is the first game in the series that actually includes the triple fighter. And that's something that we wouldn't really see in other games in the series. At least not counting Galaga Arrangement, because they actually switched it up with the double fighter to be essentially an all-around triple fighter. But we're going to try to go for it here, and hopefully not get killed in the process. I should mention that this is the North American version of the game, which means there's a lot more going on. If anything, the game itself is hard, but the American version's harder. There's a lot more firepower being seen from the Galaxians. And on top of that, the game itself is already hard with concepts such as the merging aliens here. Oh, come on! Alright, well, we're not going to be able to show off the triple fighter this time. But let's keep going. To the next area. So this game has different areas based on the stages. The first two stages revolve around the space station here, and would later be reused in Galaga Arrangement for the PlayStation Portable. So for what it was, this is the first game in the series to showcase an iconic location that would continue in different games. But let's keep going on now. Alright, here they come. One by one, they all fall. And there's the merger. Yeah, you gotta be careful because some Galaxians will merge together, and they are pretty strong. Ah, the boss Galaxian. Alright. But anyways, this game, there's a lot to it. It's a long way to the end. And to achieve different endings, yes, this game has multiple endings, by the way, you have to ascend to the higher dimensions. So, how do you get to higher dimensions? It all involves the warp capsules. So, for every area, there's 2 warp capsules that are possible to achieve, whether it's by defeating the merged aliens, or by simply finding them in different aspects such as meteoroids. And for every 2 you find before the channel stage, you will be able to ascend to a higher plane. A dimensional plane, I should say. And every dimension has its different set of Galaxians. And the further you go, the harder the game becomes. So if you really want to see the best ending, be prepared for the hardest game in the series. Because if this looks hard right now, it only gets harder. Alright, careful now. Let's just keep going forward. Alright, stage 2. So I want to showcase the triple fighter, but I gotta try to survive in the process. Can we survive, or are we gonna fail? Alright, careful now. Alright, I got a plan. You gotta save the top guys. Okay, here we go. It's gonna take me away! There we go! Alright. All we gotta do now is get it to come down. And hopefully not die before that. Careful now. Got it! Okay, okay. Well, actually, no. No, this is a triple fighter. Right. Yep. Alright, triple fighter. The strongest vehicle in the game. But, it's the channel stage. That's Galactic Dancing. What? You expected me to shoot the Galaxians? Believe it or not, Galaga 88 has a secret bonus that gives you more points than if you were to go for the perfect bonus in the challenge stage. And it involves not shooting a single Galaxian. That's right, that's Galactic Dancing. All you gotta do is watch the Galaxians dance. And you get for the bonus, well, wait for it to show on the screen before I say what it is, a secret bonus of 10,000 points. And if you really want to go for the high score, never shoot the Galaxians in the challenge stage. Plus you get to hear the music, because the music's always different in every challenge stage. With a total of 3 tracks, that is. But, we just missed it. What you saw fall down was the warp capsule, as I'd shown off at the title screen. So, we need to collect those warp capsules if we want to get to the higher dimensions. And hopefully not die in the process. Alright, careful now. But anyways, this next area is based on these planets. More specifically, the blue one in the background. So, we're gonna make our way forward. Alright, we're doing good. Stage 5. If I had to take a... I'm not really entirely sure, but I believe there's 30 stages total that the game has to offer. And remember, the further you go, the harder it gets. Alright. Oh, wow, dive bomber. Okay, we're doing good. The triple fighter is easily the best fighter in the game. However, it is very easy to get struck down if you're not careful. Especially when there's so much firepower going on. My advice? Just keep spamming the button. Okay, but we need one more warp capsule if we want to move forward. Alright, there we go. We got the warp capsules. Alright. And one up! Alright, things are finally looking up. Whoa! Careful. Oh no! Okay, we're doing it. So we're gonna see some of these Galaxians are actually breaking up into smaller pieces as they fall down. More or less those balloon ones. And just like the Galaxians that merge together, there's a lot of danger to be found. But anyways, it's time for Galactic Dance number 2. The Tango. Galaga 88 is a piece of eye candy. And ear candy too, because some of the music is great to be heard. But get ready for this next area. But first, it's time for a dimension warp! Alright, so as you saw the alien in the middle changes, that's because we achieved the higher dimension, which means we'll be facing off different aliens should we get to the end of the game. And every dimension has its own final boss. So, yeah, that's where the different endings come into play. But, to go for the best ending means facing off against the head honcho of the Galaxians, Galaxpark. However, we're not going to be able to get to it here. More or less because I suck at the game. But if you really do want to see Galaxpark, he does appear also in Galaga arrangement. And I have showcased that on my channel in the past. And I think that's probably the better version of the boss fight, if I'm being honest. But, let's just focus here. So, Dimension 2, the Galaxians here are skeletal. And they look a lot like the Galaxians from the original Galaga. But, let's focus on not getting shot down to a fiery blaze. Oh, they merged. Alright, so while I was talking about the boss that changes in the middle, I should probably talk about this section here. Some areas of the game between areas, of course, actually involve these auto-scroller sections, much similar to the game that came before this, Gapless. And, ooh, we got the fighter ship. Alright, dual fighter. Let's not die in the process. So these auto-scroller sections take us to the next part of the stage. And should we get to the end of the auto-scroller, we'll be facing off against a mini-boss. But, let's just keep going and hopefully not die in the process. Because we only have 2 fighters left. And these asteroids take a lot of hits to get through. If I'm being honest, I kind of think Gapless does the auto-scroller sections better. Maybe it's personal opinion, but I don't know, I kind of like Gapless better. But alright, so here we got the next one. And I would say the auto-scroller section is the scariest part of the game, because there's very little room for error. Like that. So we didn't get to showcase the mid-boss, but for what it is, we made it pretty far. And I'd call that progress. So, after achieving the little, auto section, we would go to the next dimension within the next area. And from there, as I mentioned, you have to go even further if you want the best ending. As you can see, the green section actually has a callback to the game Bosconian, one of the main hexes that the fighter would attack. So this game does have quite a number of cameos to be found should you get further, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to get as far as I did here. So let's just continue to the high scores. You know we got bird name in the high score section. So B, N, and the letter N. And I think that's going to do it for Galaga 88. I'm not very good at this game, I'll be honest. And as I mentioned, the Japanese version is harder, so if you have Namco Museum for the Switch, you already have the easier version. And I highly recommend, if you want to beat the game, practice with that version. Because, after all, there's 4 different endings, and some of them are actually pretty dark, if I'm being honest. So, I think it's definitely worth checking out. But that's going to do it for this video. So, if you like it, be sure to leave a like or comment below. And, I'll be honest with you guys, YouTube is not in a good place right now. Ads are being pulled, it's still favoring the higher YouTubers, and I really don't think it's the best place for content anymore. As a matter of fact, I'm actually starting to think about moving to Twitch instead of YouTube, even though I like making these pre-recorded videos better than live streams. If things don't change, this is probably going to be my last few months on YouTube. I don't want to get too big before it all collapses in the end. So, if you guys really like my content, be sure to hit the subscribe button. I don't say it much, but be sure to hit it if you really like to see more videos like these. And this is the first video I went back to this original formats following what I tried before with the widescreen aspect. There was just too many audio issues that I decided it would be better to go off here. More or less problems because of my editor that I was trying to throw in the different audio clips, but it's easier doing this in one take. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. And you know, we gotta cover Gapless in the future, because Gapless is, outside of Galaga 88, probably my favorite game in the Galaxian series. So, we gotta get to Gapless someday.